New member!
Woo!
Woo!
Hello.
Hi everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Time for Mental Health. Today, we have a new guest. Woo!
Hi.
What's your name, new guest?
So I'm Talya. I'm the co-founder of Huddle Humans and I'm here to talk.
Will you be a permanent member of the show or?
I don't know. You see how today
Doesn't have a
goes.
choice. Doesn't have a choice.
Alright. Actually, today is our first time. Actually, my first time. I think it's also Keegan's first time meeting Talya in person.
Oh yeah.
Yup.
We have no clue how she looked like.
Nice to meet you both. Cool dudes.
Okay, so coming back. Time for Mental Health is a podcast where we aim to normalize the sharing of mental health experiences. So today's lineup will be Viaano, the founder of Huddle Humans, Talya, co-founder of Huddle Humans, and Keegan, the producer of the show. I'm Fabian, your host, and let's jump right into the episode. So today's episode is about living abroad, and I'm sure you guys may have a little bit of a background that some of us here have been abroad for a few years. So I myself personally have stayed abroad for a year in Thailand, serving the army over there. Serving the Singapore Army in Thailand. How about the rest of you? So you go Keegan first?
I studied abroad in Australia for like half a year.
Which part?
Melbourne. Yeah, sorry, Australia's quite big. Yeah, so I studied in Melbourne for like half a year, but then quite unlucky. I started right when COVID was just happened. So due to concerns and stuff, I returned back to Singapore and continued my education here instead. So I don't really have too much to share regarding the experience of studying abroad, because I've only been there for 6 months, you know. There's only so much you can see and experience in 6 months.
Talya?
Okay, so I've been studying in Perth for about 3 years. I mean, my studies was 2.5 years, but I was staying there for 3 years, and I just came back to Singapore like 4 days ago.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Welcome back.
yeah, thanks.
Home sweet home.
So yeah, I do have quite a lot to talk about. I went there to study psychology. I was very blessed to be able to stay with my grandma, so I got accommodation covered, and it was a very nice experience there. Yeah.
Viaano, how about yourself?
I think
Understand.
Yeah.
You mentioned it before, right? But why not go through again?
Yeah, I mentioned it in a couple episodes back. So likewise, same as Talya, I've been in Australia for about the past 3 years. So I think me and Talya, we left like at the same time, roughly around the same time. We came back around the same time. What? Need water,
I say we
man.
need some water, man.
Yeah, that's why Keegan was asking for water earlier. So yeah. But whilst Talya was in Perth, which is in Western Australia, I was on the Gold Coast, right in Queensland. So different states, different experiences. But we'll dive more into that as the podcast goes along. So yeah, that's where we have all been. And myself.
So today we're talking about experiences living abroad, and we also some of us brought some stuff that we kind of have like experience, like bring back memories of the place that we stayed. Yeah, so for me, I stayed in Thailand for about a year over at Kanchanaburi. I think it's at the western side of Thailand. It's the west of Bangkok and Pakom Nakhon, I think. Nakhon Pathom. Yes.
Tanjung Katong.
No. So it's actually a water bottle. I got this water bottle from a guest house that I was staying in. It's Papa.
What does it say?
Baba Papa.
Baba.
What does that mean?
Is
I
that
have
Thai?
no idea.
Is that Thai?
I don't think so. So basically, like, because I was in army and during the weekends, we don't really have like lodging outside of our camps. So we like to go out during the weekends. So most of the time spent in the weekends will be living in guest houses. So actually there was this new guest house that popped up in that street. that we usually frequent, and I used to support them a lot. So they like treat me
Interesting. Support them in what way?
lodging.
Oh,
Like every time I go out of camp, I will be at the place,
I see.
stay for the night. They drive me around like to the bus stops, bus stations, and also they bought me this.
So they're all very nice.
Yeah, very nice people. I know Talya, you brought some stuff.
Oh yeah. But I mean, speaking of Thai, I was working in a Thai restaurant in Perth just before I came here, and Thais are really nice people. Yeah.
Do you know how to cook? Like Thai food?
Do I know how to
Yeah.
cook? No, I can't.
Yeah,
but
how about speaking
I
Thai?
eat their food.
Yeah, can you
Speaking
speak
Thai?
Thai?
Any can you say some words in Thai?
Sun is 3, I think.
Three.
Isn't
Some.
Some.
Okay.
Sawadika.
Fabian's the expert.
Yeah, Sawadika.
Fabian taught me
I think
one.
girls is Sawadika.
Fabian taught me one
then-
term last time.
What
Do you remember?
What do you teach?
My cup pan.
Oh my god.
I wonder what is it. Maybe
Don't
I'll-
drink, finish, don't go home.
I wonder what's that too.
Oh, then like cheers
know.
is
It's like the-
Sean, is it? Cheers. The Sean,
John.
right? Something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
So what have you got there?
Okay, so I got real paw, which is it's actually a lip balm that I discovered in Perth. It's like the best lip balm in the world. So it has papaya inside, and it's just super nice. Yeah, it's just like really like smooth and feels nice and smells like papaya also. And I just feel like every time I see that, it reminds me of Perth, because I see it everywhere in Perth, but I never really like got down to buying it. But everyone was telling me to buy it there for some reason, and I tried it and it was awesome. And I feel like it represents Perth because it looks so spicy, right? And I thought it was gonna be spicy and kind of sting a little, but it's not at all. And I think it represents the food there, because even when something is spicy there, it's not. And I have to bring my own chili around if I want spicy food. Yeah. And then my other thing is a Transperth card.
Okay,
So
what's
this so this is my transport card, like the EasyLink. Yeah, just basically like the card that I use everywhere. I kept it in my phone because like at the back of my phone, because I literally use it all the time, like to take the bus, to take trains and all that. Yeah, so yeah, it just reminds me of Perth a lot. And if there was one thing that I would keep with me to remind me of Perth, it would be the card.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all like tattered and torn also and bent.
On the Gold Coast, we actually have something similar. Ours is called TransLink.
TransLink?
I lost like 2 of the cards already, so it's not that important to me. But it's not like a paper format. It's like a card, like those kind of hard cards.
Oh, this
So,
is
yeah.
so cut.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so flexible. It's like
Yeah,
almost,
it's just I bent
different.
it until like that. I don't know what happened also.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
but good stuff. I saw the paw stuff as well.
Did
Some
you
of my
try
friends gave it to me, but I have not used it yet. It's also went missing.
Okay.
I had the same items, but yeah, they're gone.
Yeah.
No idea where it is. Okay. Okay. Since I'm talking, I'll just go ahead with mine. So, didn't really bring anything. The reason why is because I'm wearing it.
Oh.
So- So I was like, oh, Fabian, how come you're wearing the same thing as me today? Because, tropical, floral kind of stuff, So I've been 3 years in the Gold Coast, So on the Gold Coast over there, it's very chill, everyone's very down to earth. Usually how the people commute there, how they live their lifestyle is just, a pair of t-shirt, shirt, pair of shorts, put on some thongs or flip-flops, slippers, they call it in Singapore. And then that's how easy it is, because on the Gold Coast, everywhere you step out, you just walk straight, it's the beach. It's basically beaches everywhere. Surfers Paradise and Coolangatta and all this. There are just so many beaches. It's all nature. It's so many trees and parks and everything. So I think this really just reminds me of the Gold Coast. Actually, this is a Hawaiian t-shirt, but but they're similar. Gold Coast and Hawaii. It's a very chill lifestyle. So that's what I like. That's what reminds me of my time abroad. Very true. I mean, I wish I could bring a surfboard up, but
So actually, Viaano did mention in previous episodes that he likes walking, taking hikes, right?
yeah.
So I think he also mentioned Gold Coast earlier, had parks, beaches.
Exactly. All very different from the landscape of Singapore. Very, very different.
So now we move on to the more meatier stuff. So like I'll go on to share like what my experience was over there and how I coped with myself and everything. So basically I was in army. I think I was 21 years old when I stayed there for a year. So of course if you're staying in army, you stay with your army mates and your section commanders and no family members, of course. And I was also in the place where when I went there, I didn't really know how to speak Thai or know anyone there at all. So of course it was tough lah. Like being independent, everything. I learned a lot from being over there a year, like how to be independent. You know, from very minor things, it's like, oh man, my toothbrush, my toothpaste, it went missing. You know, how am I supposed to get it from Monday to Friday? It's impossible. You know, we are in camp. It's impossible to get it. Yeah, and I think also one thing that really struck me is who do I find help from? In camps, yes, you can find your buddies, you know, the person staying with you in the rooms. You can find your section commanders, but who that close can you really reach out to? You know, yeah. And that's where I did feel like I kind of miss home, kind of miss Singapore. And looking back at this 1 year, I definitely do enjoy the experience over there, of course. I mean, my house has no aircon. So staying in the camps, there was air conditioning. I really love the place. If I were to go back again, not go back to the army camps, but if I were to, if someone or the opportunity strikes where I need to stay overseas or abroad for maybe a year or two, yeah, sign me up.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Maybe you can share more about your experiences overseas. Like what do you do there? Who do you seek help from? How do you feel?
How do you live?
Yeah, living alone. Yeah.
So while I was in Melbourne for like 6 months, right? In terms of actual experience, nothing very special. Like, I mean, it's similar to what Fabian said as well, that you learn to be a bit more independent because your family not there, your old friends are not there, so you still can talk to them, like WhatsApp, Discord, but it's a bit different, not being able to see them in person. And I think what I learned there was mainly to be very frugal with my money, like my spending habits and everything. Because even though I was fortunate enough, right, to study overseas, like my parents could afford it, right, but it wasn't like pennies, you know. It was quite a big sum for my family still. So of course, to help out financially, right, I try to spend less as well. So I put aside money for the van, and then I put aside a small amount for like daily expenses. And that taught me to, not really taught me, but that resulted to me learning how to cook. So I learned how to cook a bit. Nothing fancy, nothing. It's edible, but it's not very nice.
So what do you cook?
Oh,
Yeah.
I should, because everyone keep telling me, I ask around, right, they say what's the easiest thing to cook. Everyone say pasta. Because they say you just take the pasta, you put in the water only. So I thought, okay, so easy, I just do also. So I went to buy the pasta, I went to buy a Aglio Olio, okay? Sorry, not Aglio, I went to buy spaghetti, okay, to make Aglio Olio.
Yeah. That
So
makes sense.
I bought the spaghetti, right? And then the first time, I think I didn't put any salt in the water at all. So the pasta came out with zero taste. And then the second time I put it, I was following some YouTube video. So then you're supposed to cook the spaghetti in salt water. And then you take it out and put it on the frying pan with all the garlic and the olive oil. So I think I didn't turn down the temperature, right? So when I put the pasta onto the frying pan, because water and oil don't mix, and then it's still hot. So the Aglio Olio spit at me, you know. it spit back at me and even hit the top of the room.
Yeah, that's silly.
You mean it splashed so much?
Yeah, because
water.
I went to Google this afterwards because I was curious what the hell happened. So apparently it's because water and oil have different boiling points, right? So one of it boiled first, and then the other thing didn't boil, right? So it shoot up.
Shit, time for science,
Wow.
man. Time for
Science
science.
Yeah,
class.
must careful. I heard somebody got burned badly because of that.
Thanks for sharing, Keegan. Now we'll
Welcome.
move on to Talya.
Mm.
How was your experience over there? I heard that you mentioned earlier that you stay with your grandmother.
Yeah. Yeah, so actually when I first went over, yeah, it wasn't easy lah. Like I didn't have any friends. It was also quite a new thing for me because I never really spent time with my grandma like my whole life. So it was a new thing to live with her. But it turned out yeah, really nice. Like even though I think for the first time in my life I had to like other than my sister, like take care of someone else because I think I'm so used to being taken care of by my parents. And yeah, so same as Keegan, I learned to cook, go on Pinterest, yeah, learn to cook. I think fried rice was my favorite because I can just like cook the rice.
Not pasta.
Okay, because I'm gluten free, I can't take gluten, so like there was a lot of gluten free options though. Like later on, I found out all the gluten free pasta and all that, and then I started having it a lot more. But yeah, I think I cooked fried rice quite a bit. Because you can just like cook the rice, and then when you're done with it, you put it in the fridge.
I can eat it the next morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just like literally put it on a pan with some onions and garlic and veggies, and so easy. Yeah, but I've also screwed up my fried rice. I'm not the best cook. But yeah, I think it was very hard making friends because when in uni, in the Australia uni, like okay, because I wasn't living in a student hostel, so I found it very hard to make friends also. And then in uni, most people seem to either know each other or just do their own thing. So they'll go to class, and then after that they're like either go to work or just do their own thing.
Also, you're more like the university you went to was more like a local university, or was it for? Did they have more private students or like overseas students?
I think it was like 60% or maybe 70% was local. Yeah, most people were local, but there were a lot of international students as well when I was there. So I went to University of Western Australia, and yeah, when I was there, there was a lot of international students. But okay, I wanted to like not be in my comfort zone, so I didn't join like the Singapore club and stuff like that. Like I did go for an event, but I just felt like I wanted to try and go out of my comfort zone a bit, but that made my life a bit more difficult. So I got out of my comfort zone. I actually talked to random people.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, so someone beside me in lecture, I'll just like chat them up or something. Like, and people are open to doing that. They just talk to you. Or like even when you're on the bus, people just randomly talk to you sometimes or so. And yeah, I just enjoyed like the company around whoever. But most of the time if I was doing something for leisure or something, I'll be on my own for my first few months there.
Continuing from everyone else, my experience in Australia, yeah, I mean, there's always highs and lows. I would say overall it was pleasant. I always like to take the positives out of the negatives and always want to enjoy my time wherever I am, in whatever way I can do. So, I mean, like Talya, so I try to push myself out of my comfort zone. I mean, in the first place, there's no Singaporeans at all. I mean, there are, but you can't really find them. Like my university, like when I reached there in 2019, the Singaporean club was non-existent. It was when I arrived there. Before I arrived, there was still a Singaporean club, but just my year it just disbanded. I think COVID just perpetuated that even more. But I met a lot of people there, like from different countries, from different continents. Canada, we got South Africa, Kenya, we got Koreans, we got Japanese, we got Europeans, and everywhere in the world. So I had friends from all sorts of places, and I think that really blew my mind up, because that was what I always wanted to do. I wanted always to meet different people from different places. to me, we live such a short life. I want to see the world. I don't want to stay cooped up in one place, and I felt start using the opportunity to go out there for my tertiary education. You are killing like two birds with one stone, So it was very good. Met a lot of nice people, done a lot of fantastic things. Funny enough, I say I like traveling and all this sort of stuff, but I don't really think, like, in Singapore, I don't really go out that much to explore or like go cafe hopping, all this sort of things. I don't, usually people go and explore, right? But I didn't do that in Singapore, so I don't really know much about Singapore. Funny enough, I'm Singaporean. But in Australia, I was in Gold Coast and Brisbane. I was like venturing every single place, and it was so beautiful. I mean, the landscape, the architecture, and everything was beautiful. And I think now I'm back in Singapore. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find out more about my hometown, my birth country. So I think that is really fantastic. Right. But like coming back to the topic, there are highs and lows. I mean, I've went through bad experience myself, as anyone would, especially during COVID. The restrictions, the limitations, so on and so forth, definitely will take a toll on mine and anyone's mental health. So yeah, so if you are to ask me who I would seek for help or who I'll talk to, I would say close friends. Even all the way like what Keegan mentioned from Singapore, I connect with them because they are my friends since childhood, since secondary school, primary school. So, even just digital, even through digital means, Discord.
Yeah, we like to Discord each other a lot.
So, yeah, we do. So, I reach out to my friends and family as well. So, that's me.
Seems like a common theme around all four of us is that we chose to go overseas, to live abroad voluntarily. Is that right? I mean, I had the choice as well, whether to stay overseas for a year or not. And I find that choice to be a wonderful opportunity, and I was really blessed to have that chance to go overseas as well. And there was this one part which is really difficult, and it's the time where before you leave, all the way to the arrival, where you start settling down and finally realizing, I'm actually overseas there. The transition point. For me, it's like, I have to pack all my bags, I have to say goodbye to how many people. And tell everybody I'm leaving. Maybe not everybody.
I couldn't think, man. One week I was in the army, and then I disrupted. The next week I'm in Australia. I don't even know what kind of transition was there. But yeah, it was so weird.
Yeah, Fabian flew to Thailand without his specs.
Oh yes. Flew without his spectacles.
Yeah.
Someone brought me home, but
wonder who
took my specs with him.
I wonder who.
So anyways, for me, that was the very challenging part. But after settling down, as what you guys have mentioned, like seeking people, even from Singapore, seeking back your friends, sharing with them your problems, I think can be very helpful. And once you've settled down, I think kind of just go with the flow. It gets gets more easier along the way. So don't just don't give up. If you have this opportunity, you can share with your people that are close to you. Tell them weigh the pros and cons. And if you want to live abroad, I'd say go ahead. Give it a try. Yeah. It can be difficult to plan out, but I think it'll be an overall enjoyable process.
Yeah, it allows you to grow as a person. Yeah, and see the world in a different light, see different perspectives, and see things that you thought you never see. It's the experiences.
Yeah, I just want to add that because just now I said I didn't have friends, but later on I managed to make lots of friends, and it was like really the best friendships I've made in a long time as well. So yeah.
Now you have 2 more friends.
Yeah. So it's possible. Yeah.
What's one thing that you really had to take away, say, after that 6 months or 3 years of living abroad?
Yeah, I think I really grew a lot as a person. I went through a lot there, even a huge breakup as well. Am I allowed to say that?
Yes.
But yeah,
just be open. If you're comfortable.
I was doing LDR and it didn't work out, and it was a huge shift in my life for me. huge shift in my foundation, and then I started to find love in friendships and like in family as well. And I think it's the best thing that has ever happened in my life. Singlehood has been the best thing. But yeah, I mean like and I think I grew a lot in confidence also because like I have to step out of my comfort zone a lot, and like I have to initiate a lot. Even the school there, they don't really spoon feed you like as much as in Singapore kind of thing. Like it's very independent. If you need help, you have to email the lecturers and ask them yourself, all this kind of thing. And yeah lah, and then I learned to cook on my own, everything. I learned to take care of my grandma also, and I think I learned to also like to love myself and value myself, but also to become more selfless and learn how to take care of someone else also lah. Yeah.
So for me, of course, being there in a whole year, there were times where it was a bit difficult, being by myself. Sometimes there are sad moments. Of course, everybody goes through sad moments. But who did I actually look out for? Honestly, I didn't really talk to my family, like confide in them their problems, or neither did I talk to my bunkmates. Mostly I just kept the thoughts to myself lah. like difficult times or whatever. Yeah, or maybe just a mug of beer.
Yeah.
That's not the right thing to do though.
Just a mug.
Just a mug. Maybe a few more.
As in you drink the mug or you talk to the mug?
I drink and talk to the mug. Because it can be hard, like staying overseas, and especially when there's a language barrier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like when I first went out for the first week, I couldn't speak a single word, and I had to learn. Even though I couldn't go to places, I couldn't talk to people, I couldn't buy food. There were monetary problems also. Pay wasn't coming in on time.
Who taught you how to speak?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the internet or you trying out your luck, seeing if the word fits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you go along with Google Translate lah.
Yeah. Sometimes I just like Google Translate, and then I play the sound, and
the audio file.
I put it to their ears.
Wow.
Yeah, but it gets the job done.
So did you learn like a lot of Thai words?
Yeah, I learned a lot of Thai words. Simple ones are like Sawadee Kap, hello.
Yeah. Who don't know?
Oh, I love that sarcasm from
Our new member.
our new member
right.
of the TFMH podcast.
Looking a lot.
how do you say like how to buy this? How much? Or
Okay,
yeah,
how much would be like Tao Rai.
Oh, Tao Dai.
Yeah. Tao Arai. So it's like
Tao Dai.
how much?
Tao Alright.
If I'm not wrong.
Then like do you know like the numbers and everything? Like if they say like do they say the numbers in Thai? Like
Yeah, the same numbers. So simply put 1 to 10 1 2 3 4 5 7 8 9 10.
Oh.
Wow.
Still retaining the knowledge.
So if you take out your shirt now, there's some.
Don't have.
Okay. I thought you're in sync.
increase the views.
Oh.
Speaking of beer, like I remember when I first my first birthday in Australia, I had no friends. So I went to a bar alone for the first time
Wow.
in my life, and it was kind of sad. But I mean, I just like learned to enjoy my own company lah. I think it turned out really nice. Like eventually I spent a lot of time going in nature on my own and all that. I mean, later on I got to go with friends, but I think it was actually really nice just like enjoying my own company also. Yeah, although it would have been nice to have a friend at the bar, but yeah.
I find myself doing that a lot too, When I go out, I tend to just go alone to places, be it cafes. I don't usually go alone to cafes in Singapore, but when I'm overseas, I'll go to bars alone, restaurants alone. I'll go for walks at various places. I've been to like everyone waterfalls, just trying out everything.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think for myself, I this way I differ. I mean, everyone's different. For me, I'll class myself as a homebody. So usually I if there's no one to go out with, there's no friends to go out with, or if I'm not going out, I would rather much just stay at home and do my own things. And that's where I feel most comfortable. That I feel that alone time, that space that I have, it's really, I really treasure it a lot. It's very meaningful to me. And I just don't find myself, that's where I'm different. I don't find myself going out alone to like cafes or watching a movie. I have to go out with like a friend, or not. There's no point going out at all. That's for me. That's me as a person, and how comfortable I feel about this topic that we're on. So I think, yeah, but there is no harm in doing that. Actually, I would encourage that. I would love to try it out myself, though I've not really done it. Unless really needed to.
Right.
I think each different experiences has their own benefits. So yeah. But that's just my personal experience. I like to stay at home. I feel comfortable.
Well, Keegan is a stay-home person as well.
I take it even one step further than you. Like when I stay at home, even when I play my games at home, I don't play alone. I won't play the game unless somebody is online, and then
exactly. We are the same.
I'll play with someone, So I can't play any single player games at all.
Oh my god, we're the same.
Yeah. Oh no.
Interesting.
Yeah. I totally get what you mean. I never ever play single player games.
Then what are stuff you would do alone?
Sleep.
Study.
Study.
If we have to.
There are no choice.
So for those audience who are in the midst of a decision between staying in their own country or trying to live abroad, is there a tip that we can give them? Like personally, I would say take the opportunity. But if you're facing some problems where you're trying to run from it by trying to live abroad, you might want to consider the two options first. Don't just quickly jump to running away.
Yeah. I think for myself, I just like to say that, look, just go out there, meet new people from wherever, whichever country, whichever culture, whichever tradition, just go meet them. It'll seriously open up your eyes to a whole different world, and you'll learn much and you'll grow a lot from meeting all kinds of people. Yeah, just open your eyes in that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say like go out of your comfort zone also. If you're afraid of embarrassing yourself, like people that are not even going to remember you. So like it's your chance to do like be you, be like totally you, and go out of your comfort zone and have fun. And don't give up if things get hard. Just try to find support through like your community, through clubs in uni or stuff like that. Yeah, there are lots of support systems overseas as well. And yeah.
For me, it's although it's important to, of course, have a budget, right? But I think don't take it too far. Alright.
Wise, very wise.
Yeah, because if you all you think about is budgeting. I can't spend this. I can't go over X amount of money this month.
I actually get very stressed over that.
Yeah, and the thing is, you end up not enjoying the experience. Like me.
Find a balance.
Yeah, find a balance. So having a budget is important. But don't overdo it.
So with that, we've come to the end of episode 3. Time for Mental Health. Stay tuned to our next episode. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, comment on our various podcasts. We are available on Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and many other platforms. So till then, this is Time for Mental Health. I'm Fabian, your host, and ciao.